I'm gonna be doing Raphael's Blossom Escape story. I usually finish the events earlier than this, but I only have 2 days left to finish all this. Let's switch over to Rafayel and get started. On the seaside hillside, shrubs and flower beds form a small garden clearing with a camping tent set up next to it. A staff member hands us Coastal Flowers, a guide, after assigning us to the seaside garden. I flip through it, and the illustrations remind me of a certain artist's style. Why do I see so many of your exhibition pieces here?
No wonder Thomas asked me for permission the other day.
I stop turning the pages at the sight of a flower called the Waverwell Lily. I'm captivated by its appearance. Raphael, look, doesn't it look like the tide is blooming on land? The blue and white petals curl back like waves surging toward the shore. Watching my finger trace the page, Raphael seems surprised at first, then he smiles.
Good eye, cutie. You managed to pick out an old friend of mine.
It's not that hard when you painted a lot of the flowers in this book.
By old, I mean I can barely remember it because that much time has passed. These lilies bloom in shallow water. They're close to the sea, so you don't even need to leave it to find them.
So you saw them before you lived on land? Raphael nods. He adjusts the projector inside the tent until shifting light and shadows transform our surroundings into a shimmering tidal flat. Wow, you two go way back. Raphael takes the book from me and holds it against the projection. He chose a spot where the tiny fish are leaping out of the shadows.
To sea creatures, anything from the land, petals, leaves, blades of grass, has a special scent. Whether it's a curious fishy or a fierce predator, they're all drawn to the petals floating on the water's surface.
Captivated by his words, I unconsciously move closer to the projection.
See? Here comes the fierce predator.
Realizing what he meant, I playfully lunge and pretend to bite Raphael's shadow that's on the tent. This fierce predator doesn't snack on petals. I'm after a certain fishy.
Well, as long as you're not worried about the staff coming back and finding you in the middle of your seafood feast.
Yo, we need to chill.
Well, as long as you're not worried about the staff coming back and finding you in the middle of your seafood feast.
Save for later. I'll save that for another time. Maybe after our Wave Junior finally blooms.
That's the one you're going with? While my story was touching, this flower is kind of plain on land. Oh, the guide says it's finicky, hard to grow and stuff.
I give the peg hammer a resolute tap. I knew we were meant to find it today, even if it's ordinary and biggie. I'm planting it no matter what.
Okay, let's do it. It can't be any harder than my own adjustments to life on land.
Are you talking about getting motion sickness? Disliking the sun and the cats? He stops me before I can keep going. He snatches the peg hammer from my hand.
Cutie, saying any more than that would be rude. We'll do this together. Come on, let's start planting.
Oh my gosh. We have the seedling, soil, and supplies, but Raphael and I, feeling a little clueless, just stand there with our drawers and garden rakes.
We have to correctly mix the soil first. Do you think we can finish by nightfall?
Let's treat it as something we've done before. The instructions say it's kind of like how you mix paints.
Art usually helps me deal with boring chores, but I'm gonna need more than that this time.
That still has an easy solution. We'll just treat gardening as an art project. Why are we starting our art project with sorting out these brownish black piles?
Blame the staff who forgot to label the materials after dividing them up.
Watching Raphael roll up his sleeves and get to work, I realized something. Humans and Lemurians really aren't on the same wavelength. These subtle color differences must be as obvious to you as traffic lights are to me.
Probably. If Lemuria had traffic lights, we'd be buried in tickets.
It's okay. I'll just give them your name and let you take care of the fine. Why don't you share some Lemurian color detection secrets so we can speed this up?
Sure.
Raphael scoops up some mysterious brownish substance and holds it out to me.
Come closer and smell it.
I lean in, and the faint scent of coffee fills my nose. We're using coffee grounds as fertilizer?
See? Sniffing is the simplest way.
If that's how it works, then I think I can do it. I set aside my tools and lean in towards Raphael's face. I sniff a few times. MC's a dog. Woof woof.
Huh?
I don't smell anything. Before I can move away, Raphael effortlessly hooks my arm and pulls me closer. My head lands on his shoulder.
Well, duh. You weren't close enough. How about now?
The top note is the sea breeze. The middle is earth. The base note, fresh grass.
So, what's your conclusion?
This is a rare power called the artist's appreciation that magically makes plants grow better. He slides his hand to the side of my neck and warmth brushes past my ear. I can't tell if it's his finger or his breath.
Don't move. Now it's my turn to figure you out.
Not this music.
The top, middle, and bass notes captivate me. This scent definitely represents you.
What the heck is going on? What the heck is going on? After passing the visual and scent tests, mixing the soil seems easy by comparison. Imagining my shovel as a paintbrush, I progress one scoop at a time. No, stroke by stroke. It's clumpy.
That's what happens if the paint gets too dry.
We pour some water on the dirt and break it apart with our hands. Since it's already sticky, I shape it into a tiny clay flower. Raphael tries shaping something too, but the crumbly soil ruins his masterpiece, so he starts drawing. Are those two chubby bees? Oh no, we just insulted him. It's only after Raphael adds expressions to the cartoonish frown faces that I realize my mistake. Oh, it's us. The final product is two cute, cheapy figures lifting my clay flower. I scatter a few colorful pebbles around, and our mighty artwork sparkles with life. Wave Jr. will be blooming with life in no time.
In that case, this drawing is perfect as our new beginning.
Once we've planted the seedlings in the prepared soil, I decided to commemorate the occasion with the photo. But no matter where I am, I can't find our mud arch. That's weird, I swear it's here. Why is the ground wet? Did you water it?
Haven't you been holding the watering can? Actually, do you hear that? The sound of the waves seems to be getting louder.
We both send some things off and look at the ocean. The waves are so high that they've reached our elevated spot. Oh no, the tide is rising!
Due to the sun and moon's combined gravitational pull, the eastern coast is expecting a Perigean spring tide today.
While the newsfeed continues to be projected, Raphael and I race to save our newly planted flowers. Despite us acting fast, some seedlings were submerged in seawater for too long. They've already lost their vitality. Needing a safer spot, we redeem our Blossom Escape event rewards to borrow a temporary greenhouse. Why is it that every time I turn away, Wave Jr.'s tank temperature suddenly drops by 2 degrees? Raphael, did you secretly adjust the...
Whenever you turn away, you check every other plant and give them a makeover. Like you're basically their inspector.
I'm about to refute him when I noticed there were leaves stuck in his hair. Somehow he became a Raphael sprout. I think you're the one who needs to be spruced up more.
Hmm?
Tidy him up. I pluck one of the leaves in his hair, quietly leave another, and then nod. There. You're squeaky clean now.
You know, this place is kinda cramped, but there's plenty of oxygen at least. If only these plants didn't keep sticking their leaves out to say hello.
There's a bigger oxygen lounge inside. I just finished checking it out. Follow me. Stepping into the back garden feels like we're entering a fairy tale forest.
This is nice. I feel like I can breathe more easily.
Yeah, oxygen's a wonderful thing. Why can't we invent something so powerful?
If you really want to produce oxygen, would you consider becoming a leaf sheep sea slug?
Raphael takes my hand and taps it.
They're only about this big, though.
What are they?
It's a creature that lives underwater. It can do photosynthesis.
Huh. That's cool.
And it's cute and harmless like a lamb sometimes. But it can be prickly like a hedgehog when it wants to be.
It's so small, but you can see it from a variety of angles. Pretending his hands are holding a telescope, Raphael looks at me through his eyepiece.
Of course, cutie. I bet I can read all your expressions from this tiny space as well.
I copy what he's doing, and my field of vision becomes a pixelated blur. I don't believe you.
Do you want to put it to the test?
I reposition myself so only part of my face is visible.
Your cheeks are all puffed up. You must be trying not to laugh since you think your little trick worked.
Fine, you can read my face even if I'm tiny. Raphael lowers his makeshift telescope, but he staggers as if he's dizzy.
I've been breathing the air here for too long. I probably inhaled something I shouldn't have.
What do you mean?
Look behind you. If the scent of lilies is too strong, you become lightheaded.
What are you talking about? Seeing his eyes glaze over, I quickly cup his cheeks. I push the other flowers to the back of my mind. Then why am I okay?
Ooh, maybe it's because you weren't squinting at them like I was.
You're such a liar. What the heck is he talking about? Raphael, his face still cradled in my hands, winks. I look behind me and see there are no lilies.
Expressions can be deceiving.
You were too obvious. It was obvious you were trolling. The same can be said about words. I pat his head and brush away the leaf I purposefully left behind.
You're more of a trickster than I am.
No, I think you are. Hey, that resembles one of the flowers in the guidebook. It must be its tri-colored cousin.
Look to your right. There's a multicolored version too.
The plant hybridization center is packed with flowers in every color. But Raphael and I aren't here for fun. Do Wave Jr.'s buds think they're fruit? They keep falling off as soon as they appear.
If we had hurricane force winds last night, our tent would have been gone.
We learned that Wave Jr. was shedding buds because it had been moved around too much, so we decided to ask for the experts to help.
They are busy at the Plant Hybridization Center, but if you two lend a hand over there, maybe you'll free up an expert who can assist you with your flower problem.
And that's how we ended up with the following mission objective: free an expert to save Wave Jr. But it's very difficult not to be distracted by so many gorgeous flowers and all the random thoughts they inspire. You named so many natural colors. What if you had to name these artificial ones?
I haven't tried that yet. Where should I start?
I point to a random flower with an orange-white color gradient. Its stamens are shaped like tiny snake tongues. I guess we'll choose something related to an exotic coral or poetic wordplay involving filtered sea light.
Mildly spicy, creamy curry seafood soup.
Is that the name of a flower or a dish?
When naming artificial colors, I thought it was better to use something humans already find relatable.
In that case, I'd go with barely spicy.
Oh, we have different opinions. I guess we need to sit down and debate it.
After a fascinating tour and some lessons, we practiced artificial pollination ourselves in the greenhouse. We did ruin a few flowers in the process, but at least the rest passed. Gathering the extra petals into a small pile, I think out loud. It'd be such a waste to throw these away. Maybe we can use them as fertilizer for Wave Jr.
Or I can just, make you a flower crown.
Stop, that's cute. Raphael, who has a completely different idea in mind, crosses his arms and speaks with a languid tone.
Today's not our lucky day, huh? This is the second time we've disagreed.
Then let's compromise. We'll make a flower crown first, and the leftovers get to be fertilizer. Raphael doesn't respond. His gaze travels from my head to my neck. It finally lands on my wrist.
If I made a full set of accessories, I'd probably run out of petals. Wave Jr. would need to donate some. It's already doing well. Let's not spoil it with fancy fertilizer just yet.
What do you mean by a full set of accessories? You might as well put me in the garden at that point.
No, I'd take you out to sea and grow you hydroponically.
He twists a vine into a circle and carefully pins petals on it, one after another. Red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. My head is now a rainbow of blossoms. So your design philosophy is everything but the kitchen sink.
It's waste not, want not, thank you very much.
After giving me a mirror, Raphael lets me admire the beautiful flower crown from every angle. Noticing he's secretly taking photos, I slip the crown onto his head. Hand over your phone, it's my turn to play photographer. Just as I'm about to take a picture, a few unwanted guests buzz into the shot. What's going on? Are they treating your head like a hive?
I guess the petals still had nectar on them?
It's a good thing I gave you the flower crown. I almost found myself in a pickle. Raphael waves them away, but he ends up doing more harm than good in the process. Now we're surrounded by pollen.
We never covered the stigmas with bags. There's too much pollination going on.
I guess we'll have to work overtime. Thanks to the experts' in-person help, we took every measure we could. and finally Wave Jr.'s condition stabilized. That night, Raphael starts a bonfire with his Yall while I squat by the shrubbery and closely observe the vegetation.
Are you cold? Do you want to go in the tent?
No, I'm okay. I'm trying to pick out which crabs to invite for tonight's seafood fest.
In other words, our honored guests get to skip sitting down and go straight to the plate.
Raphael places something warm over my shoulders. He grabs my hand just as I coax a tiny crab from the bushes.
I saw you shiver. And it just so happens that this blanket's been warming by the fire. Are you two playing rock, paper, scissors? If it uses scissors, you can't eat it.
I just got that. Then I'll just devour the big fish that landed in my net. Oh no. This again. Wrapping him and myself in the blanket, I motioned for him to quietly observe with me. I can't believe these crabs can survive in the shrubs. How do they do it?
Are you planning to take some notes for Wave Jr.?
Wave Jr. is fine. It won't be long until it blooms on its own. He doesn't need my help.
Don't be like these crabs and dig burrows at my place.
Feeling safe in our blanket fort, I act like I'm a crab and pinch Raphael's waist. Fine, I'll try something else then. What the heck? Although my attack lands perfectly, I don't do it again. I pretend to lose interest and pull my hand back. Never mind, no one has asked me to help them settle in anyway.
So you do think I haven't fully adjusted yet?
Not exactly. After we started caring for Wave Jr., I started thinking about other things. The crackling bonfire sounds like television static. It makes me tune into Raphael's channel. Through it, I imagine instances he struggled to adapt, just like Wave Jr. You had to make more adjustments than our flower. Did you have to do it alone? No.
Who said that?
A gentle touch on my neck nudges me toward Raphael's shoulder.
Plants have stimulators to speed up their growth, right? Well, I've got my own personal stimulator. So as long as I have it, I can adapt to any environment.
That sounds too good to be true. Hey, keep an eye on those crabs. They're settling into the garden. We charge into the flower bed, rescue the plants, and give the crabs a stern warning. Do that again and it'll cost you your life. After we protected the flowers, we're about to leave, but we end up lingering around Wave Jr. He looks docile in the firelight.
That's why color can decide the whole mood of a painting.
That's not the only thing I'm talking about. Their leaves and petals seem less wild now than they are during the day. Let me guess, you used your Yall on these flowers when you were little?
What? Are you suspecting I messed with their genes so they could react to fire?
I know it sounds far-fetched, but... Raphael snaps his fingers and produces a flame brighter than the bonfire. A gust of wind sends sparks drifting onto Wave Jr. It trembles.
It's just a coincidence.
Yeah. Neither of us wants a new crisis when the event is about to end. In the firelight, we exchange a glance and silently agree to let the moment pass unspoken. As the garden evaluation day approaches, the weevil lily has only partially bloomed. I prepare myself for disappointment. But on what seems like another ordinary morning, we're awakened by a sea breeze carrying a rich floral fragrance. As the rising sun lights up the ocean like molten fire, the flowers fully bloom.
What was that?
His outfit. Snapped out of our reverie, we scan the area for the odd noise.
shooting?
Knocked over by Rafayel's abruptly turning, the small robot gets up and wobbles back. It gives us an instant photo.
Here's your official commemorative photo. If you like it, make sure to give Otto a good rating on the survey.
I need to get this outfit! In the photo, Wave Jr.'s flowers sway in the wind and blend seamlessly with the boundless ocean behind them. The two of us stand where the waves meet the shore as if we've been swept into a dreamy kingdom. It's just as good as Autofo's best pictures. It definitely deserves 5 stars. We finish the survey and start packing up. I open a storage chest for one final check. This is the flower crown you made for me. Why is it here?
Good thing you didn't forget to open the final treasure chest.
The flower crown gleams with a lustrous glow in the sunlight. Running my fingers over it, I realize the blossoms have pearls. Rafayel places the flower crown on my head, and it feels heavier.
Don't worry about the bees, cutie. They're currently swarming Wave Jr. right now.
Bees almost messed up our entire pollination project. That's exactly what I wrote as our biggest obstacle in the survey. What about you? Did we have any disagreements this time? Rafayel picks up the device and scrolls back to show me his survey answers.
I also wrote bees for that question. Here, take a look if you don't believe me.
Isn't this the doodle that got washed away on our first day? Where are the... Oh right, they looked like bees when they only had heads. The most effective stimulator. That's a good answer for this question. Rafayel traces a circle around the tiny figure that represents me.
The other answer is here too. Raphael's exclusive stimulator.
So it's a special human-related remedy, huh?
I don't get it from just any human. And speaking of which, doesn't this special human still owe me a seafood feast?
Oh crap, right, that. Let me get my phone and make a reservation.
I knew you'd forget.
As soon as my lip... Oh. Oh. As soon as my lips touch his, I'm sure he catches the triumphant gleam in my eyes that says, "The trickster strikes again." His ears are red. His ears are red. Oh my gosh. That was so cute. I really liked that one. I really liked Rafayel's event story. Alright, that's gonna be it for this one. I had fun. It was really cute. Okay, that's it for this one. Bye.